coming off of last week's final conversation about throwing your dog poo in somebody else's garbage can when you're taking the dog for the walk and their cans are out on the curb.
No barrel. It is a 0 barrel. It's just not good, right? I've tried to rationalize it before. You're there, the trash can is there. It's just trash. Like, it's not like this is some precious, not like you're throwing your dog poop on the person's roof or throwing it in their yard. This is a trash can. This is for trash. But then I've realized, no, the trash can is the property of that house. It is for that house to do with what they wish. They put what they want in there. That's not open invitation for you putting your stuff in there. Now, I will add the caveat, it is barrel if somebody regularly leaves their trash cans out overnight and in the next day. Then it's lesson time. If they're not on a trip, but this is the constant thing, if they're lazy with their trash cans, then have at it. Teach them a lesson, right? Like, that is a lesson you get. You want to have your trash cans out in the street all day? Boom. But it happens to me all the time. Like, I have trash cans out reasonable hour before, our trash comes in the morning. So I will get them out the night before, reasonable hour. They're not just sitting there. I will take them back in hour max after the truck passes. If I'm doing something, if I'm gone, it may take a little longer, but typically right away. 8 times out of 10, there's already a poop bag in there where I'm thinking, you jerks, it's somebody in this neighborhood. You have one too. Like, you couldn't have waited for a block. You couldn't have waited for 3 blocks. Like, at this point in my life, I feel so strongly about this that I will walk as long as I need to walk to get to either a public trash can or bring it back home.
Wow. So I have a slight variation because I agree with you in theory. The offense for me there is them putting it into your empty trash can.
Yes. Oh, for sure.
Because
If it's full, it's totally fine. If it's trash night and it's full, you're 100% right. If trash is coming, that's no problem. I'm talking about the empty, I guess.
exactly, because the empty now means it's at the bottom of the can. It's going to stink. It's going to be in there for a full week. I'm
Likely
going to,
get smushed and
that's
could
the
bust out.
That's the problem. This
Yeah,
now this now creates potential hazardous waste material. If it's just you're throwing it on the top of all the other trash and it's going to go out with the truck in 6 hours, I'm not bothered by that at all. And
thousand
I
percent right.
and I have actually put that poo in somebody else's can in that instance, but if their can is empty, I would never burden them with it.
100% agree with you. And I would not feel offended in the least. If I walked out, trash cans are out full, I walk out and see somebody else's dog poop in there, I'd be like, oh, good call. Thanks for hitting me now. I get in the empties, which drives me crazy.
So this is a public service announcement the size of yours that if you're in the middle seat on the airplane, you get both armrests without
Yep.
question because it's just it's a common courtesy thing that we do to live in a society where it feels civilized. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And so I'm all for it. The reason why, of course, we're inclined to get rid of that poop immediately is because it's entirely uncivilized to walk around with a bag of poop in your hand. So you're looking for the opportunity, but that's your problem because you chose to domesticate an animal. It is not your neighbor's problem because what if they have never had a pet and yet they have trash cans that are going to smell like poo till the end of time because you have a pet?
Well said. Well said.
Done.
Yep.
Okay, moving on. Barrel or non number two comes from a listener. Um, Here we go.
Chad, David, James calling into the grit. Barrel or not, party waves. I'll just leave it a loose barrel or not here. So would appreciate the feedback. Cheers.
Party waves.
100% no barrel unless it is your immediate family. You can party wave with your wife or your husband and your children. That's it. Nobody else gets a party wave ever. There's never a right time for a party wave. It is juvenile. It is unsophisticated. It is embarrassing. It is people hooting on a wave. Look at us on the same wave, party wave. Like, no, it's an embarrassment. You are an adult. But with the wife, husband, child, children, all good.
The other caveat that I have is if you have priority and I want to go in,
Yeah.
then I just shout party wave and I burn you. And oh, what, dude, we were just doing a party wave. What are you talking about? Why are you such a party pooper?
I mean, the go in, I was going to bring it up. If you're both going in, but at that point, I'm going to say nobody surfs that wave. You both pop up,
Yeah.
go straight, and then get down to your belly because a party wave with a non-family member is unsophisticated.
I mean, it almost feels like a kook and curran, but I've seen too many intermediate surfers do it. But it is a current thing where you see two pro surfers on a wave together in like almost a synchronized ballet kind of movement. That is super impressive.
That is beautiful.
Any other version of it is a waste of a wave.
I feel like I've seen Derek Hind like spinning on a wave and somebody else like surfing around him while he spins. Things like that. When both of you are tangoing on the wave, have at it if you're both that good. But it'd be like going to a restaurant or whatever that has a dance floor and having two people who have no business dancing together, who are really awkward dancers, just dominate, thinking they're looking good too. Like, woo, woo, woo. That's not cool. Nobody wants to see that.
That's what 99% of party waves are. It's Elaine Benez with name another famously bad dancer.
Oh man, who is with Elon Musk?
Trump. Trump's dances are always so good.
Just the way he's really leaned into it though. I mean, with Trump's dances, mock him once, mock him twice. Now when I see him get his hands up there, I'm like, he's committed to that dance so hard that he's made it now it's a dance.
I know. He'll give like a little finger gun to somebody
Yeah.
who's looking at him. Like it's so good. All right. Yeah. No party waves. Trump said it.
Yep.
Final barrel or not comes from let's just call him a celebrity surfboard shaper.
Hey boys, what's happening? It's Britt. I got a follow-up for you to the show where a barrel or nah was poopery, something to cover up the poop smell in a guest bathroom. Okay, first of all, you guys were talking about people pooping in your bathrooms during dinner parties. Wait a second. That's not a thing. Nobody goes to someone else's house, should go to someone else's house and poop. If I'm at a dinner party, there's absolutely no way that I'm pooping in that person's house. You can hold it. You have to hold it. I don't want anyone pooping at my house for a dinner party. If you're a overnight house guest and you have to stay there, okay, maybe you have to, but I'll aquaduke before I do that. I will go surfing and figure it out. Barrel or not, pooping in other people's houses, especially for a dinner party or a short visit, dude. Just for the record, I'm a hard nah on that. Hey, boys.
Britt Merrick's invited to my house anytime he wants.
Oh, mine too. Except I'm going to go to Britt Merrick's house as well. And guess what I'm bringing? Some Grateful Dead socks. I can't believe that and thank you, Britt, for picking us up where we fall down. He's exactly right. You just don't do this. You leave. I mean, nobody does this, right? If you have to defecate so badly, you shouldn't be out of the house in the first place. If you like in terms of a dinner party. So he's exactly right. This is a nah for dinner party. The overnight guest, he's making a great point, and I completely agree with him that you do what it takes. You can go to the convenience store and say you just got to run out for something, right? It is really
go pick up coffee for everybody.
Exactly. Unless there is a emergency, and by emergency, I mean some medical emergency that happened to you overnight. If you're staying at somebody's house, there's almost no reason to ever number two at somebody else's.
Look, I didn't make this up. This has happened to me. In my house, I've also been at dinner parties where I've noticed that this happened. Maybe a cocktail party during the holiday where it's like there's enough people that you don't know. You can't pinpoint who it was, because there's 6 people around the table. One person leaves and then you know. But it happened most recently to me a couple of months ago. My younger brother was the offender.
Did he cop to it?
There was no denying it, dude. Like he went in there, not only like blew the place up, did not open the window, and then left the door completely open so that we're all out here socializing, and it just wafts in with him when he enters the room. And I pulled him aside as a good older brother should. I was like, bro, can you go pull that door almost all the way shut and open the window? And he got all embarrassed. He's like, oh yeah, sorry. No, I wasn't sure about, blah, blah, blah. And he got all nervous. But I was like, how do you become a grown ass man and not have this level of decorum?
Here's the thing, though, and I guess this is a subsequent barrel or not on top of this one, is having no shame as an adult, barrel or not. Because if your brother came out and was like, "What, man? When nature calls," and like, what are you going to do then, right? Then you got to say, "Okay, he just doesn't care. If he doesn't care, and then why am I being such a big sissy to care about this thing?" Like, I feel the way to play that off is if you're going to be an other people's house pooper, you've got to also have the real no shame where and bald face, just like those kinds of people, right? Where I am
Yeah.
not one of those, but I can appreciate that dude who's just like, okay, everybody knows this dude has no shame.
That is a move for
Yeah.
sure. And I don't think that was his move. I think it was more from a place of we're brothers. Like
Yeah.
to him, this is his brother's house. Like he can be himself around his brother, but he didn't factor in my wife. He didn't factor in like the other people that were
Yeah.
there. You know what I mean? Like there was something that was amiss. Um, but I mean, I'm cut from the same cloth as Britt, which is just no pooping in public unless it's absolute emergency. Like I will schedule my day so that I don't poop in public. Forget about somebody else's house. Like that's totally, if I could do it in anonymity in public, maybe, but I don't really like using non-personal toilets anyways. But at somebody else's house, dude, you'd have to be staying with them for an extended period of time in order for that to
I
go down.
completely agree. I am happy to poop in public. Like I have no problem with a truck stop bathroom again, as I have mentioned, with a Starbucks bathroom. There's a lot of good ones out there, right? And maybe this is the amoebic dysentery in me talking, but like I'm all good with that, but not at somebody's house. Uh, and also on the broader topic, I feel just of decorum in general, don't rip one at somebody's house. Don't burp loudly at somebody's house. Like all bodily function at somebody else's house should be non-existent. And if you have to, like take care of it outside of be very aware.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, I'm kind of at the point now where I'm thinking if somebody does blow up my bathroom like that in a kind of a short stay, I'm going to reconsider that friendship.
Yeah. I mean, definitely reconsider the inviting them over part of it.
Yeah.
Like they could be an outside friend, not an
Yeah.
inside friend.
Family is kind of removed from this conversation, but anybody beyond family, you really got to pick and choose your battles here.
I mean, it shows low moral character, I
It
feel.
does.
And that's just
And planning.
Yeah, and planning and all of it. And, yeah, Britt, thank you so much. I cannot believe we just talked about that topic like it happens. Like people regularly go to dinner parties and just, oh, done with dinner. You know what happens next.
Making room for dessert. It does happen though. That's the thing. It's not a complete anomaly. Like
not.
Britt, get real. It does
Yeah.
happen, dude. And another thing that a lot of people mentioned last week was how not only did we forget that one detail, but how we didn't think to tie it in together. The DJ Seaweeds,
And the
great
Poo Poo
track.
Touch.
Touch is real. He does the poo poo touch on whoever he feels. 𝐿𝐲's legacy. He did the poo poo touch, now he's touching me. WSL, did we fail? The champ is bowed out, I wish him well. Surfing seems it's upside down. The girls are boys and the boys are girls now. The poo poo touch is the touch of poo poo. Cause I don't want no chickens and 𝐂 poo. The poo poo touch, it stinks of poo poo. Cause I don't want no final five. The poo poo touch, it stinks of poo poo. Cause I don't want no chickens and 𝐂 poo. The poo poo touch of poo poo. Cause I don't want no final five.
I love when DJ Seaweed's vocals fail him.
I mean, when DJ Seaweed is like hitting that note and just straining to get it, it's beautiful. A thing of artistic perfection, DJ Seaweed.
For any listeners who are new to the show, there was this character named 𝐿O, who was the CEO of the WSL, who had the poo poo touch. It's the
Everything touches the
opposite.
poo-poo.
It's the opposite of the golden touch.
I wonder when I see him advertising Life Force now on Instagram, if Life Force, what's happening to Life Force's stock and whatnot? Is it just, it's got to be tanked.
My favorite thing about 𝐿O, whenever he starts his Life Force commercial or his Forbes vlog that he's doing, is that what it is?
I think so. I haven't seen one of those. He does Substack.
Substack posts, whatever. Almost all of them start off with, you know, when people ask me for advice, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, somehow more people have asked you for advice than have asked the aforementioned Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like when people ask me for advice about, and he'll say what it's about, and I'm like, nobody ever has asked you for that advice. That is just your entry into how whatever you want to talk about at any times is to preface it that way. But there's zero chance that you've had 300 people ask you for advice in your life.
Erik Logan legitimately acts as if the internet doesn't exist and that it's not an easy Google. If anyone is somewhat curious about Erik Logan, let's just Google him real quick right now. Let's just see what comes up, what the first things are. Erik Logan, and should I say, I'll say surf, right?
Whatever.
I mean, we have to, let's just do Erik Logan. Let's see if he's even the number one Erik Logan. Okay, Erik Logan is the number one.
I did it in the YouTube video that pops up as you and I.
Yeah, the YouTube video is you and I. I'm seeing it off to the side. We have dumped WSL CEO Erik Logan, more vulnerable about something. We have, oh, it looks like he's cleaning it up. We
You
have
got to get back on this, dude.
he's trying to clean it. I guarantee Erik Logan has hired a internet scrubber. That is amazing.
Well, that may be what all the Substack articles are, is he's just littering new content, and that's going to get prioritized over your old content.
It won't really, though, because the stuff that gets hits has rises to the top oftentimes, especially on the first page. We need to get back on it. We're
busy,
doing poorly.
Dude. Get busy.
Yeah, okay, I got it. Another story coming out.
I got it. Well, we got a great song to go with it, so feel free to use the song if you want. I mean, if that doesn't go viral, that should be the number one thing that gets posted with Erik.
Forever.